I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. We're doing it. We're doing it live. We do it live. We're breaking news here right now because I just put out about 30 minutes ago Mike McCarthy's press conference. That was, of course, about uh, basically we have four players. What's up, Cowboys, Jaden? We have four players that are in COVID protocol right now, and God, the list. Here's the thing. This is one of those things that you don't know where it goes or how many people have it because one person can have it, no symptoms, no signs, passed the test and everything else. Now all of a sudden everybody else has it. We do know that Arizona Cardinals ended up having some players that ended up being with COVID before the game. Now, Dan Quinn and Carlos Watkins were sent home before the game. They were at the stadium. They were sent home because evidently they didn't pass the test or whatever. Dan Quinn says he's fine. But now we have three additional players that have been added to the list. I was waiting until I got the list to come back on here, but damn, Gina, just let me know that the players are Ceedee Lamb, Malik Hooker, and Israel Makanu. So, of course, joining Dan Quinn as well as Carlos Watkins. Now, here's the thing. A couple of things. You can have the shot and still be carrying or test positive for COVID. The thing about the shot, at least according to the science, is you won't get sick and die from it, or there's less chances of that happening. It won't be severe. I've had my COVID shots. I could actually be walking around with COVID right now, and it shows no signs or anything else for me. However, the problem is I could be carrying it, and so somebody else can now pass it on to them, and so on. Here's the thing. Whether you believe in the shots or don't believe in the shots or anything else, here's the problem. You test positive, your ass is going into protocol, and until you don't pass the test. Now, this morning we had talked about Cam Newton. We found out that Cam Newton, who has not had the shot, rules are that you're getting tested every day, and when they test you, they send a swab up your nose and get to the back of your throat back there to test it. And for him, there was basically a misunderstanding. You have to go to clinics that are approved by the NFL, and somehow something happened with one of the clinics or one of the rulings, something like that. It was something silly, but he ended up now having to sit out for 5 days. So here's what we know right now: the Dallas Cowboys are in COVID protocol. They're doing virtual workouts, virtual meetings and stuff with the coaches and the players and everything else. They're trying to nip this shit in the butt. Because, hey, we can't afford to have everybody here 17 days before the season goes, sitting out before the season opener. That's just not doable, y'all. We cannot have that. So, if you're just tuning in, everybody who's on the Dallas Cowboys COVID list, we've got Dan Quinn, of course, and Carlos Watkins, who got sent home on Saturday. The good thing, at least, because Saturday, Sunday, Monday, they've already been in here for 3 days. And it's a minimum time that you have to go through and be able to pass a test that you no longer have it. So we may be looking at least 5 days, which means those guys may be missing practice all this week, which starts out tomorrow. Let me say again, Carlos Watkins, Ceedee Lamb, Malik Hooker, and safety Israel Makaku. All of them at the moment. That's the list right now. But the thing about this is you don't know how many more people may end up having it from this situation. So this is not good news at all. This is not good news. Although I will say this much. The one benefit, Cowboys up north, what's going on, man? Hope they get back soon. The one benefit of them having now four players in COVID protocol, and here's the only one. Tomorrow is cut down day. The team has to cut down 5 players. There's an exemption for players that are on the COVID protocol. It's like they're not on your roster. So that means they've already gotten 4 of the cuts out of the way for tomorrow's cuts. That means only one player will have to be cut tomorrow because they have 4 people on COVID protocol. Okay, does that make sense? Saturday, I got my second COVID shot. Shout out to you, Rex. Yeah, this is not the news that you wanted to get by any stretch of the imagination. You don't, the thing that at least I saw that was good, and I noticed with training camp, what the Cowboys were doing is they were keeping the fans, of course, not too close to the players. They were having the reporters on one side of the fence, players on the other side. So they've been, hopefully, have been cautious. But the reality is this shit just like that. If I had it, I'm blowing it towards you, and it's hard to. You get your booster shot, Rex. Okay. You've just seen that he doesn't have it, but here's the problem, Karen. If you test positive, that's the okay. I'm going by what's being reported right now. If you're saying that he doesn't, okay, great. I'm not so worried about him as much as I am CD. Okay, I don't want any of these guys to miss any time for practice. And I guess here's one thing to look at is better that it's now in training camp than say like 2 days before we play Tampa Bay. But this could be a wake up call for all of a sudden, and you start saying, okay, we got to be more careful. How long is protocol? I think it's a minimum of 5 days. Let me look it up, but I think it's a minimum of 5 days and 2 past tests. Let me look it up real quick here. NFL and NFLPA, and they're changing. They were getting when we watched Mike McCarthy's press conference. He was about to be on a call with the NFL, NFLPA. NFL and NFLPA have agreed to update COVID-19 protocols for 2021 training camps. No daily testing required. Masks not required at cup facilities during team travel. This is if you're fully vaccinated. Okay, it doesn't say how long. Okay, wait a minute. Clearly, if you've been vaccinated, the rules are a lot leaner than if you are not fully vaccinated. If you're not fully vaccinated, testing is required every day. If you don't get a vaccine, you got to get testing every day. Masks required at club facilities during travel. Must remain physically distanced from others in club facilities. Damn. Must quarantine after high-risk exposure to COVID. Travels restrictions in effect. 15-player limit in weight room. Players must be physically distanced in meal rooms, may not eat with teammates. Staff must grab and go, no meals in cafeteria. Damn. No social media, marketing, sponsorships, activities allowed. Not to use a sauna steam room. And may not leave the team hotel to eat. Wow. Wow. So, damn. Those are the rules if you aren't vaccinated. But I'm trying to see how long you have to stay on if you test positive. Let's see. All I'm seeing is the protocols. It doesn't say how long, but I know Cam Newton didn't fail a COVID test, but he has to be out for 5 days. So I think, well, it could be a false positive. It could be, but here's the thing. We do know that the Cardinals had, I think, 8 players last week that tested positive, and you played them. So it's one of those things that, it takes some time to show up. You get it today, it doesn't necessarily show up today. And so it's conceivable that you could have gotten it from some of the Cardinals players. Let me look it up real quick. 3 days ago, here we go. This was 3 days ago. Arizona's COVID-19 not in a good place. Okay. Uh, the questions have been asked, and there's no way around it. Most would agree that Cardinals guard Justin Pugh, when he was called out the NFL and should have been included in the NFLPA in his tweet, said vaccinated players should test every day just like unvaccinated players. However, following both Pugh and the defensive tackle Jordan Phillips testing positive this week for the coronavirus, after wide receiver Andy Isabella tested positive last week, we have to wonder what's going on in Glendale where the team lives during training camp and practice at State Farm Stadium. So, yeah, Arizona already last week had several players that ended up testing positive. We play the Arizona Cardinals, of course, and so now we've got players that are testing positive for it. So that's where we are. Rather get it now. That's up to them. David Wiley, what's up, David? David, you're added to League 3. League 3, Saturday drafting. Saturday, League 3. They moved you because you had honeydew lists to do, so make sure you're here Saturday. We have Ceedee Lamb, Carlos Watkins, Malik Hooker, and safety Israel Makaku. And I'm sure I mispronounced his name. All on the COVID protocol list currently right now. Right now, they're on the list because they have tested positive or there is a question about it. So they'll need to have negative tests. They'll need to have negative tests come up before they'll be able to rejoin the club and practice. The team itself has gone to basically COVID lockdown where they're doing virtual reality meetings with coaches and players.
This is a real B&H customer.
So that's the latest word on that. Just breaking it to you guys, not what we want, but it is what it is. Weren't a few Texas players out in protocol? I have to check. I have to look and see on the Texans. Not sure about the Texans. I do know that the Cardinals were, which was the week before. But I'm sure the Texans are checking out right now, too. Damn. You gotta hate this. Reno Robinson sent me, okay. All right, so Mark, have Jobu fix this. I wish Jobu could fix this. I'm not going to say that this is the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's there's still plenty of time for them to recover. Now, what we don't want to have happen is that this just keeps on growing and growing and growing. 10 days have passed since the initial positive test. Michael, I don't know about that because if they had tested positive originally, that's when you get put into the protocol. They don't go through and say, okay, you passed, you failed the test. We'll wait 10 days. No, it's after you had the positive test, or are you saying after the positive test, you got to wait 10 days? That may be the case. That's what it was last year, but I think it's changed slightly that if you've got 2 consecutive negative tests, I think it's dropped down to 5 days. And it also depends on whether or not you've been vaccinated or not. As usual, all vaccinated players getting COVID. Well, here's the good thing at least. The ones that are getting, well, Cam Newton's on the list. He hasn't had it. And the thing about it is people that have tested positive that have had the shots, I don't think any of them have been hospitalized. I could be wrong on that. I could be. But the ones that have gotten more sick had not had the shot. I'm just saying. They doing this to keep players instead of cutting 5. Right, Cowboys up north. That was the other point. That was the one I said. That was the one positive thing on this is each player that's on the COVID list doesn't count to the active roster. So tomorrow they only have to cut one person. Matt Productions, knock on wood. I think I had it. I actually think that I had it because I think I actually had it from the Super Bowl in Miami, which is before it was cool to have COVID. I had explosive diarrhea. My blood pressure was like literally through the roof. I had ringing in my ears and stuff like that. But at that point, this was before they were doing testing and stuff like that. Reven S, you're 100% right. And that's what I'm trying to say. Because somebody's like, oh, figures, everybody who's been vaccinated are the ones that are testing positive. I said, yeah, that might be the case. And, well, actually, that actually makes sense. Let me go ahead and say it this way. Here's the reason why that may be the case. Let me bring up the COVID protocol. If you are, okay, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. If you are not vaccinated, you have rules that are stringent. Okay, for example, you can't leave the team hotel. You can't eat with more than like 5 people. Oh no, you can't eat in the team cafeteria or something. Coaches have to grab the food and go. You can't go out to parties and things like that. You can't do social media events. So you are locked down so that way you're not exposed to it. Here's the difference now. You can test positive for COVID and not get sick. I technically could have COVID right now and passing around, but I'm not sick because I've had the shot, so it can't attack my body. But here's the difference. If you've had the shots, you don't have to wear the mask. You don't have to socially distance. You're around your teammates. You can go out and do social media events. You can go to, say, baseball games, in which case you have more people around you and the more likelihood that you could actually test positive to it. We didn't say that, Ceedee Lamb is in the hospital right now with COVID, on a ventilator. We didn't say that. All we can say is he's tested positive for it. So yes, you can test positive for COVID and have had the shot, because that means the virus is here. It's in my nose. I've got it on me, but it ain't making me sick. Does that make any sense? It's kind of like, I remember a person used to always say, well, they weren't sick till they went to the hospital. The hospital didn't make them sick. They went to the hospital because they were sick. They didn't go to the hospital and all of a sudden they got cancer. That the hospital gave them cancer. They had the cancer and they found out in the hospital. You follow me? Let's not be stupid now. Okay, let's not be stupid. So that's going to leave us a little short-handed here. And nothing about COVID makes sense. Well, if you ask me, if you want to ask me, and nobody did, I think about my fish pond. Or if you have an aquarium, okay? You have an aquarium at home, right? If you put in too many fish, what happens? Or if you don't clean the water out, it gets polluted. It's got a lot of toxic shit in there because it's got all the crap and piss in there, right? Right? The fish get sick. We've all seen like fish kills where, because of all the nitrates and stuff that are in the water, that the algae blooms go in, it takes the oxygen out, and the fish all of a sudden just start dying, right? We see this in Mother Nature all the time, right? Could this be, and the reason it happens is Mother Nature is trying to say, there's too much shit in here, we got to do something about it, some of y'all got to go. Could it be that COVID is kind of that kind of thing that's going on? We've done so much shit to the environment, there's so much crap out there, it's overpopulated, that all of a sudden now, Mother Nature is saying, we got to balance this shit out. Just saying. Right, exactly, Nardo. Too many fish ends up basically what we're saying is the water's polluted. Nitrates and ammonia, it's too much of it. And what happens? The fish die. The fish die. Could be what's going on in the world right now. What if it's just a flu virus? Well, I'm not saying no. Hold. Listen, I'm not saying I'm a scientist at all, and I'm not saying that's what's happening. But I'm just saying I see that example all the time. That's why I keep my fish pond clean. That's why you put fresh water into it. That's why you don't put too many fish into it, because I know when I overpopulate the pond, or if I overfeed them and they end up having more shit, that they end up croaking. That it's a delicate balance and equilibrium between them. I'm just saying that. Is it possible that we are kind of out of an equilibrium right now? Oh, Texas Rage made you're right about that. You're right. That Chinese made shit. It don't last. This shit does. All right, let me check one more thing here before I get ready to get out of here. Um, but either way, this is not what we want to see happen with our team right now. Ceedee Lamb, the okay, I'm gonna skip that one. I think Howard, I'm confused because they changed the rules. Last year it was 10 days. I think it's actually 5 days now, and you have to have two negative tests. Um, it's funny. I'm sitting here looking up. I'm trying to find 4 players on COVID list, and my video comes up. Damn. Unfortunately, not all these people are as fortunate, and assuming some can, when the majority don't, just sets a bad precedent. Well, the Cowboys, I believe the Cowboys are well over 80% of the team is vaccinated. Right. Lowdown, you are 100% right. It doesn't necessarily mean a positive test. You could have been exposed, but uh, okay, we don't all know exactly what happened. It's not being reported just yet. Um, yeah, 92.8% of the team is. Again, you can test positive and have no symptoms of it, and that's a little difference. So when we say that, oh, you got COVID, okay, the taking the shot does not kill the virus. It doesn't put up like a whole blanket that the virus can't be ingested by you and where you can pass it on. That's the reason why they say still wear a mask too. You can have COVID with the shot, but it'll be less severe. At least that's what we're being told. Okay. Oh, sorry, Warren Mayo. Can I get some mustard with that mayo and some ham? What we have actually Joseph Hooker. We have Ceedee Lamb, Carlos Watson, and Israel Manaku. And I know I mispronounced that name. Forgive me. That is the list. Israel Manakanu. So Ceedee Lamb, Joseph Hooker, Israel Manaku, and Carlos Watkins, and of course Dan Quinn. Um, I bet they had ladies come through. Could be. Malik Hooker. Did I say Joseph Hooker? I didn't say. Did I say? Okay, forgive me. It's Malik Hooker. Malik Hooker. Malik Hooker. Just full of good news. You love the Civil War? I actually like studying the Civil War. It's actually kind of cool. It was the first modern war. And you look at some of the advances in warfare, it's actually kind of cool. very bloody. A lot of people died. More people died in the Civil War than any other war America's been in. Just saying. You got to know your history, bro. Us Cowboys always live in the line. No, hold up. Well, we live in the limelight, but we're not the only ones that are in this. Like you said, Cam Newton was in protocol this morning. He's had to stay away for 5 days, and he is in a quarterback starting battle. We know that Arizona's had several players in there as well. But with the Dallas Cowboys, it's bigger news than any place else. It just is that way. Matthew Friday, you are 100% right. Well, no, Robert. Here's the thing with Cam. Cam has not had the shot. So the rules for players that are not vaccinated are a lot different than players that are. If you're vaccinated, you don't have to get tested every day. If you're unvaccinated, you have to get testing done every single day. And they have certain places that you can get your testing done, in which case Cam has been getting tested every single day. The problem is there was a misunderstanding with one of the tests, that it might not have been approved site or something like that. He is not tested positive for it, but because there were questions of this misunderstanding, he has to stay away from the facilities for 5 days. Well, thank you, Cowboys Up North. How you want to paint it? You want it silver? You want it blue? You want it blue and silver? Blue, silver, and white? I would say, to me, it would seem like, I haven't had a COVID test, but when you see them put the head back and they got this long swab that are sticking it back. Oh no, hell no! I don't even like to put my finger up my nose. You mean I got to go through that every day instead of, give me the shot, man. Gina, what's up, Gina? Thank you, Gina. Hold on, let me say, damn, Gina. Thank you very much for sending me the list, which includes Ceedee Lamb, Malik Hooker, and Israel Makaku. And forgive me, Israel. I can't pronounce that shit. We know I don't have COVID. That I've got dyslexia, and I can't read that good. Forgive me. I remember AT&T Stadium. Do you know that Dante? You mean from the 20 to the 20? Yeah. I've seen that. I think I've actually been on that screen one time. Yeah, Gina, everything's okay over here. It's a little quiet. I had to do a whole bunch of work by myself, and in fact, my wife was out of town, so I was lonely. It was just me and the dogs. My wife is back, so the dogs ain't down here now. But when my wife was gone, the dogs were down here with me because they were lonely too. Hey, Sheila, how you doing, Sheila? Well, Howard, here's the thing. These are the rules of the NFL. If you don't want to take the swab every day, then get the shot. It's up to you. You choose where you want to go with this. We don't care which one. If you take the shot, you got more freedom. If you don't take the shot, it's up to you. Get that swab up. Get that. Yeah, go ahead. It's your choice. They're not telling you. You have to, but they're kind of making it easier if you do. I'm just saying. But regardless, here's the bottom line. They don't care if you get the shot or don't get the shot, but we don't want the COVID messing up our season. That's the bottom line. Which is the bottom line money-wise. Don't mess up the season. If you're not getting a shot, then keep your ass at home. Keep it at home, and get that swab up your nose. Oh shit! Oh yeah, get that swab up your nose. That's what you got to do. Are the players getting fined by the team? I don't have that. Okay, look, it was my thumb. My thumb doesn't go. Look, it doesn't go. You see how big my thumb is? It doesn't go up. It wasn't like I did my pinky up. Come on, man. Hey, are you concerned Dak may show a little bit of rust? No. I'm no more worried that Carson Wentz will show some rust. No more worried that Joe Burrow will show some rust. Hell, Daniel Jones, has he played this offseason? Has Hurts played this offseason? I, I'm not worried about that. Not worried about that. Good testing for USA is. Are you concerned that okay? A full 6% of pediatricians do not vaccinate their own children. Okay, your boy. We're going to be ready. Kurt Morgan. Well, let's hope. Okay, let's hope that the Dallas Cowboys, and I don't care which side of the fence you are about COVID and all that. Here's the bottom line. Here's the only thing you need to focus on is whether you agree with or don't agree. What is agreement is that in the NFL, if you test positive, your ass ain't playing. And if your team cannot play, if they cannot have enough players to play on the day that your team is scheduled, your ass forfeits the game. And you pay the other teams and the NFL the expenses. Now, how you get there, if you want to forfeit all your games and pay us, by all means, do you. If your team is shorthanded and doesn't have a quarterback that's on the roster, do you. That's on you. So this puts it in the laps of the players. And this is what Michael Irvin was basically saying before the season started. He's like, listen, you bust your ass getting in shape, lifting weights and everything else and taking supplements and powders and everything else and operations and everything else. You do everything you can to be the best player you can be to try and focus in on a Super Bowl. But if you don't take the shot and you get COVID and it hurts the team and we lose you, you are not doing everything you can to try and prevent a failed season. And you got to look at it and say, you know what? You're right. He's right. All about controlling the people. These are people are drunk on power. I'm trying to understand. You know what? I'm trying to understand. I mean, y'all get a tetanus shot? So when you step on a rusty nail, do you? Do you get a tetanus shot? Or if you do step on that nail and you go to the doctor, okay, go ahead, I'll tell you what, go step on a rusty nail right now and go to the doctor and get him pulled out. Are you going to tell him, oh, I don't want that shot? I don't want that shot? Okay. Then get hoof and mouth. Okay, okay, come on, man. It ain't that big a deal. It ain't. I got to tell you, all the shots I get in my knee between the painkillers and getting it drained, that shot was the easiest one I had to take. So, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just passing on. The word is, like I said, it doesn't matter what you believe. What the rules are with the NFL is if you fail the test or get out of the protocol, I mean, you're in the protocol and you're not playing football. You're not playing football. And at the moment, Ceedee Lamb, Malik Hooker, Carlos Watkins, and Israel Mataku cannot practice with the team. They can be virtual meetings from their house. But until they get out of protocol, they're not going to be there. And we don't know how many other players may end up being on that list. And that, my friends, should be scary to Cowboy fans. We're 17 days away. 17 days away. You know what? I love how Talking Heads. Adam Schefter, Adam Schefter, and his stuff was basically he did the same thing to Dak that he did with Aaron Rodgers, whereas basically, well, I took the whole bunch of information there, and I put it together and came to a conclusion. So you didn't talk to Dak Prescott, no. You didn't talk to the Dallas Cowboys, right? No. Did you talk to Dak Prescott's doctor? No. Did you talk to anybody who knows Dak Prescott? No. Did you see Dak Prescott's arm hanging by a thread? No. So the question is, how did you get this response? Well, I was talking to Gil Brandt. You mean Gil Brandt, who is how old? Is Gil Brandt Dak Prescott's doctor? No. Has Gil Brandt worked out Dak Prescott? No. Has Gil Brandt seen the MRI results and know how to read them? No. Okay. So that is what is called drawing your own conclusion and putting it out there. And I don't have a problem with somebody saying, here's what I think. I don't think Dak Prescott will be 100%. If you say, I think, or I have come to the conclusion of, but when you state it like you have information that says, looking at the doctor's report right here, Dr. Such and Such, who's an expert of it, says, that's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. Gina, you're asking what happened to Michael? Boy, he just disappeared with a big ass cheesy grin on his face. That's all I know. He said, Dad, I'll be back in a few days. I'm like, where are you going? He said, none of your hump of business, Dad. None of your business. I'm like, okay. All right. I said, just be safe. How about that? Left mark to dog shit. To dog sit. Oh, you left to dog sit. Okay. Only thing you have to worry about. Wait a minute. I'm drinking red Kool-Aid. Okay. Have to worry about is his timing with his wide receivers. Well, see, here's the thing. Javier, I appreciate that, man. Shout out to you being a Vikings fan and a fan of this channel. Because Lord knows I done killed Kirk Cousins a million times. Man, I'm sorry. But I got to tell you, you have one hell of a stadium there. That's what, and I love the way that they have the subway system that goes right there to the stadium. Although Super Bowl night, it was cold as shit. It was like -3 outside. And when you got all those people leaving at the same time, it's kind of crowded. But I love the tunnels that you have between all the buildings down there. Y'all got that snow down, that cold down shit good. Anyway, I did see the, yes, I did. Yeah. I've seen the Eagles win the Super Bowl live and in person. I've seen the Giants win 2 of them live and in person. And sadly, I have not seen the Cowboys live and in person. I've seen all of them on TV, but have not been able to witness it live, sadly. And that is something that I hope will change in the very near future. 4 months, 5 years. 4 months, 5 years for what? Top doctors are saying. 4 months to 5 years, top doctors are saying. What are we talking about? Oh, well, Matthew, he pulled a Captain Obvious there. The Cowboys were never in on Geno Atkins. That was one of those ones that's like saying, you know what? The Cowboys, I can come on here and say, guess what? The Dallas Cowboys aren't trading for Aaron Rodgers. Who said they were ever going to trade for Aaron Rodgers? Well, but it's true. They're not going to trade for Aaron Rodgers. It's a simple fact. To say they're out on Geno Atkins, they were never in on Geno Atkins. They never had any desire for that. The only connection was the doctor for the Cowboys did the work on him So let's connect the dots. Oh, well, he's the doctor of the Cowboys, and he's checking them out. So he's checking them out. And they say I'm not professional. Right. Another guy asked Geno questions, just asked the Geno question, just responded. I'd like to see Dak play a quarter in preseason before going versus Tampa. I don't know that. I mean, we can all have our thoughts and everything else, but he didn't play any preseason last year and start out like gangbusters. Um, Very few players actually play lockjaw. Sorry, hoof and mouth lockjaw. All I know is getting the Sylvester Stallone, Adrian, something like that. Okay. Either way, get your tetanus shot too. I want to go to the Cowboys game, but not in Dallas, Texas, though. Um, I'm still waiting on that one. Um, I'm going to definitely go to Dallas and Washington, even if it ends up being that we just go tailgate there in the parking lot. But I'm going to wait a little bit before I do that one. I'm just, I'm old and I'm a little cautious. Lola, what's up, Lola? Uh-oh, here comes Lola in here. She can ready to stir some shit up now. Watch out, trolls. If you're just tuning in, the Dallas Cowboys currently now have 4 players on the COVID list: Carlos Watkins, Malik Hooker, Ceedee Lamb, and Israel Manaku. Okay, others are coming, and that's what I'm more worried about is because now here's the problem. You got Carlos Watkins, defensive line group. You got Malik Hooker, D-back room. You got Ceedee Lamb, wide receivers. It would be better if it was like all one group of guys that were normally just together, but you literally have three position groups with players that have tested positive. And you know that Malik Hooker, of course, is around all the other safeties. Ceedee Lamb is around all of the wide receivers. Well, but okay. Testing positive and having COVID are 2 different things. Basically, you could test positive for it and you could be passing on to others. So that's why you have to be away from facilities till it's no longer there. Why not say 3-0? Hawk. What's up, Hawk? Son of Thunder, I'm hearing you. People are dying because of boneheads like you. Philly 500 going for Cowboys? Oh, you're going to be at the beach till Saturday? Damn, Gina, you got a long vacation. Oh, you tanning, huh? Oh, snap. I saw the funniest TikTok. Funniest TikTok. Woman's laying out on the beach with her boyfriend, right? Boyfriend, they're laying out, they're asleep. And he's got his hand on her butt. Okay? He's got a hand on her butt, right? She wakes up and she looks back and sees his hand on her butt. And she ends up moving and his hand comes off. And then there's the tan line of his hand on her butt. Literally. So she gets up and here's his handprint on her butt that didn't tan. It was funny. I thought it was hilarious. I was like, that's a good one. Now, probably was set up and they spray tanned, but anyway. Anyway. Ken Foster shared a video. Okay, Ken, I can't check it while I'm here right now. Who do I think they are cutting? But, well, here's the thing. They only have to make one cut tomorrow. Because you have 4 players on COVID protocol, that counts as like IR. So they don't count on your roster. So right now, the Cowboys only have to release one guy tomorrow. And you have to also wonder here, could this, okay, I'm going to play conspiracy theory here for a second. Could this be conspiracy theory? The NFL setting this up as kind of like a PSA to the players? Because here it is, it's going to be on Hard Knocks, and people across the country are going to look at this, and all of a sudden they're going to start thinking, oh man, Ceedee Lamb and Joseph Hook, these are key players to the Cowboys. What if, maybe I need to get my shot so that way I don't lose time and have to sit out? I'm just saying. I still believe that the whole Dak Prescott situation, I mean, let's be clear. Dak Prescott's been throwing since April to his guys. They've been coming over to his football field and working out. And you notice when Dak's throwing around the football, we don't see him there throwing around. He'll go outside. I'm betting you he's working out secretly. But on Hard Knocks, oh, Dak Prescott. You know, that drama, that whole drama that's out there, I'll have to come visit from Pennsylvania for a game. All right, come on. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be right here. We'll be right here. And let me check something here real quick. See if there's any more news on the COVID situation. Devarius Jackson is getting cut by the Texans, former Cowboy running back. I think that's an old article. Yeah, that's an old article talking about Dan Quinn and Carlos Watkins on the list. I'm kind of surprised that there's not more on this thus far, because you would think the Cowboys having players on COVID. Fanside says the Dallas Cowboys are battling COVID outbreak 2 weeks before the regular season starts. Let's see, which 55 minutes ago is about when we started this. Actually, right when I started this. Yeah, same stuff I've got you guys. They posted that 55 minutes ago. We started this live stream 48 minutes ago. And I actually talked about, let me make sure I get this right now. So I don't want to bring you misinformation, but I actually put up a video. Cowboys with 4 players on the COVID list. Let's see how long ago that was. Probably going on 2 hours by now. About an hour and 15 minutes ago. So as soon as I heard the press conference, I got it up, and once I heard the names on there, shout out to Gina for letting me know who the names were. Wanted to get this out there to the masses. So yeah, we're dealing with 4 players and 1 coach right now that we know of, and let's hope it stops right there. I do not want to lose half the team sitting out before we have to play Tampa Bay. We just don't want that. We can ill afford that. And tonight we'll be live streaming tonight too. We'll be live streaming the game. I forgot who plays tonight. Who plays tonight? I'm getting to be forgetful as shit. What is wrong with me? Why can I not find it? Okay. Hold up. Gonna live stream the game and can't remember which game it is. Jeez. I've watched so much football over the last 4 days that my brain is gone crazy. New Orleans, Jacksonville. Jeez, why couldn't I remember that? Yeah, so at 8 o'clock tonight, we'll do a live stream. We'll start our Monday night live stream out early. Can you cut anybody not vaccinated too much of a risk? Well, 92% of the players are vaccinated. So if 92% and there's 85 players, right? That means there's only like five. That's only about five players that aren't vaccinated. Greg the Leg is actually close to coming off the PUP list, so we'll have him back. The game is on ESPN. Yeah, I'll watch it tonight, and we're just gonna start our live stream out a little early, and we'll just go a little bit later. I'm just doing. You know why I'm doing it, Thomas? I've done 4 days in a row with a football game. I don't know there'll ever be another opportunity to do 5 in a row like this for a live stream. Cowboys up north, knee surgery. Hey, Cowboys up north. Look, hold it. Look at this. Boom. Okay. Look at that. It's ugly as crap, but it works, bro. The only station preaching fake facts. Okay. Wait a minute. Say what? The game tonight is New Orleans versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville versus New Orleans. We got to play both. We played Jacksonville this Sunday, and we got to play New Orleans during the season. So this is another scouting opportunity. Let's hope Ceedee doesn't have any issues like fatigue. I agree with him on that. Cowboys up north. Good luck. You think they'll have? Well, let's hope not. Let's hope that that this is the end of it. Malik says he doesn't have COVID. Okay. Well, he may say that, but here's what the NFL says: using the protocol. So, I mean, you can say all you want. You can say, "Hey, I don't have an STD, baby," but somehow the test came out and said you do. Okay, I'm just saying. And maybe it's a false negative or whatever, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool. I'm hoping he's right. I'm hoping actually that all of these are false negatives, but at the moment they can't practice. We talking about practice right now, guys. People's Aguilar, let me ask you, People's Aguilar, what a false positive, excuse me. What is your definition of a true backup quarterback? Because we had Andy Dalton, and he was a starting quarterback before he came here. We had Matt Castle, who had been a starting quarterback, and what did he do around here? Nick Foles, oh my God. Nick Foles. I'm always trying to wonder why people always want to fall back and say, get Nick Foles. Guys, Nick Foles went to Jacksonville, got paid a whole bunch of money, and he didn't do anything to the point where after 1 year they said bye. He went to Chicago where Mitch Trubisky was the starting quarterback. And right now, he's the third string quarterback on that team. What is it makes you think that Nick Foles is going to do something with the Cowboys? Nick Foles got on a hot streak. Nick Foles got on a hot streak with the Eagles twice. And here's the thing with Nick Foles. Now, I will tell you, 2013 was a great year from Nick Foles. Nick Foles, 64 completion percentage, 2,891 yards, 27 TDs, 2 interceptions. That was a great year. Since that time, other than with the Eagles in 2017, here's the thing with the Eagles. He got them on the run there and won the Super Bowl. 56 completion percentage, 537 yards, 5 TDs, 2 touchdowns. That's it. Great team around him. Goes to Jaguars, 3 TDs, 2 interceptions. With the Bears, 10 TDs, 8 interceptions. Guys, Nick Foles ain't your answer. Sorry. Blake Bortles isn't your answer. With the lack of decent, and Josh Rosen ain't the answer. Damn it, I had you worried. What are you talking about? Hang on, guys. Hold on. I might lose you for a second here, but I got to see what he's talking about. It wasn't me that scared him. It was actually Roz who scared him because he said that Ceedee Lamb's on IR. And so then Stewart saw that and was like, what happened? Did he break his? No. Thomas, listen, here's the problem. Blake Bortles doesn't know your system. Blake Bortles would be coming in right now, having not practiced in forever, having to learn your system, which means you got to take time to teach him, right? And teaching him your system is only the first part. The second part is he needs time to throw to the receivers. So this point forward is when you're trying to work on your game plan for Tampa Bay. You're not game planning for Jacksonville. So you're going to take time away from Dak Prescott and Ceedee Lamb and all that to put in Blake Bortles so he can learn the system to be the backup? Guys, you're better off with Cooper Rush or Garrett Gilbert. At least you're not taking away time. Y'all can have Flacco. Oh, my God. Lord, help me. Lord, please, Lord, help me. Somehow help me, Lord. Please. Don't do this to me. Oh, God. I agree with you. Oh, God, not Flacco. Please. I want Flacco gone. Well, hey, he can be gone, but I don't want him gone to Dallas. Mariota. Why, Lord? Why? 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 Why do we want to bring in all these bums? Why? Is it just because it's a name you've heard before? Come on. You know what? I'd bring in Roger Staubach before I would bring in Mariota. I'm seriously. Mariota is the best of the bunch. That's true. That's a true statement. But just because you the prettiest piece of trash at the dump doesn't mean that you are worth something. You mean Subway's meathead, where they literally made a head out of meat to look like Mariota? You know what? I think it's time to end this. I tell you how this feels. If you watched my live stream yesterday during the Giant game with Rashid here, we were having a discussion because I said, Rashid, would you trade Daniel Jones for Dak Prescott straight up? He said, no. No. I said, seriously? I said, I'm not saying no. I said, just straight up, just replace Daniel Jones with Dak Prescott. He said, no. I said, okay. Then later on, he started talking about Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater looking good these days. I'm like, okay. He said, I trade Daniel Jones for Teddy Bridgewater straight up. And I was like, okay, I would too because Daniel Jones sucks. I said, but you wouldn't trade Daniel Jones for Dak Prescott? No. That's literally how what I was just kind of like, you didn't really say that, did you? Yes, he did. Oh, you were there, Lola. Lola, were you like, do you actually watch football? And of course, he's only a garbage time quarterback. I was like, wait a minute. I said, so you're saying that the Cowboys are the only team that ever falls behind? I said, if that's the case, then how come some of these other quarterbacks aren't? Well, because he's a good quarterback. But they fall behind by 35 points. I like they ain't falling behind by 35 points. Come on now. Um, I don't know who you are. Ugh. Okay. I'm excited about 11 and 42. I'm not big on Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch. Right? Yeah. There you go. Cowboys. The guy who was on pace for 6,000 yards is the guy who tripped over the 20-yard line. You can't reason with them. You can't reason. You think we got a chance if Dak goes down with what we have on the roster? I would say we have a better chance if the offensive line stays healthy and the defense steps up. Yes, we would have a better chance. The problem was last year, you didn't have anything to fall back on. Zeke wasn't running great. The offensive line was pulling people off the street. Your quarterbacks that were backups were awful. Your defense was historically bad. There was nothing you could say, let's lean on this till we can get Dak back. There was nothing there. Nothing. I think the defense is going to be better than they were last year. They're definitely going to be more physical and faster. I think Zeke Elliott's in better shape than he was last year. And at the moment, we at least have Lyle Collins, okay? And we know Tyler Badish is better than, say, Joe Looney was at this time. So, and we know Tony Pollard can actually run the football pretty well, too. So, do I think we can and we have a schedule where you look at some of these games and say, there's a lot of games that are winnable, games on there. So, I don't want to lose Dak. But if we do, we're better in a position to absorb it for a little bit of time. So, with that being said, we've been on here for an hour. You're up to date with what is the Dallas Cowboys and their situation right now with COVID. We'll find out more if these were false positive tests out there, or if they were, exposure to others or whatever. And hopefully these all are false positives and we're not losing them for any length of time. And let's hope that nobody else does test positive. So, Sheila, I got to take care of y'all. As always, I will see you guys at about 8 o'clock tonight for the live stream. So we watch the New Orleans versus Jacksonville and roll into our Dallas Cowboys. Trade Danny Pesos for a COVID shot. Damn. All right. Peace out, y'all.